Thank you, guys. Have a good night. See you guys. Bye bye. Okay. You know, Evan,
I lost him. He won't study again. So Brian.
Ryan, Marvin,
Lost David.
David, yeah.
Drew. They played for the Dolphins.
He didn't draw though. He just didn't. He didn't want to win.
You don't want to win?
He gave me the draw. It's ridiculous. He outplayed me the whole game. He felt bad for me.
Dion versus Bobby. Lou, okay. Nathaniel,
Oh,
okay. Harrison Lee. Is Harrison Lee here? David Malico.
Yeah.
Huh?
I won't.
Versus
Marvin.
Martin. Okay. The results are in. Extra player here. So 18 players. Okay, everybody here?
Yeah.
Just have a seat, guys. Is anybody in the kitchen? So, Evan, can you move the phone a little bit on the right so we can see that? Okay. Please stop moving, just sit somewhere. Please stop coming around us, okay? Can you guys see? Yes? Yes. All right, so I'm gonna save the results. I'm really trying to incorporate the international master that I just played in our academy, in our classes, in our summer camps, and in our master classes. So I'm really negotiating with him right now for him to come in for a master class, and he's gonna play all of you in the same time, probably March 28th. Okay. So as soon as I get confirmation from him, I'm gonna upload the flyer on the website with master classes. So I'm bringing more and more and more international masters. More, we create more value for you guys. You know, to meet players and play with players that you guys usually don't have the opportunity to play. I'm doing this for you guys. So uh, you have an opportunity to play against him, and then he's gonna show the game that he beat Magnus Carlsen. There's not a lot of people in the world that beat the world champion. So he's gonna come in, show the game, answer questions, and play all of you at the same time. All right. Did anybody uploaded the game? Where is it?
I sent it to you.
Where? How?
Third one,
Okay. You versus who?
Brian.
Brian. Brian with the white pieces?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I wanted to show you guys my game versus international master, but if it's a really interesting game,
Yeah,
it's pretty.
yes.
It is. I think it's very interesting.
Okay. From white point of view or from black point of view?
Well, I
Right.
think we both kind of.
What is the name of this opening, guys?
Jobam.
Jobam London. And Bishop G5, H4. Why did you play H4, Brian?
Go H5 and to give my bishop a support,
Where?
so I can hide on H2.
So you could hide on H2.
Mhm.
So explain in chess language for the people that are watching on YouTube live. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So if my bishop gets attacked by the knight, say like the knight goes to H5, I don't want to give away my dark square bishop, so I can move it back to its hiding place in H2,
Okay. And at the same time, you're thinking of,
playing H5 and maybe sacrificing the rook.
okay, so this idea of H4 has a double idea of securing the H2 square, like Brian said, in case of knight H5, and also has the idea of advancing the pawn with a kingside attack in case of black short castle, and sacrificing the rook on H5, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Right. So rook take. I know you asked me this before. And I told you that it's perfectly fine because kings on opposite sides, and you have an attack on the king, you don't feel the difference between a rook and a knight, right?
Mhm.
So this rook's really, really good for white, actually. So Evan, you played H5. Why did you play H5, Evan?
To stop that whole idea with H5 and
Okay, so Evan is asking himself what white wants to do and how can I stop it? So we see H4, H5. These are reflex moves. Knight F3, developing the piece. Bishop F5. So why did you play Bishop F5?
I felt like my bishop couldn't be attacked there, and maybe long term I wanted to play C5 and rook C8 and go after the C2 pawn because he can't easily defend it unless he plays bishop D3 and trades off the bishop.
Okay. Queen D2. Brian, you were preparing what?
Long castles.
Long castle. And now knight G5. So why did you play knight G5? You did not long castle. You didn't develop the bishop.
I started kind of second guessing. I wasn't sure if I wanted my king on castle. So I played knight G5 kind of to control the E4 square, because I had a plan to go, if possible, F3 and then E4 to try to break in the center. But I think that plan might have been a bit too slow.
So you wanted to start the pawn storm with F3, G4?
Well, I think
Bishop
E4.
E2?
Yes, but I was thinking more E4.
More E4.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a huge fight for the E4 square here with the white pieces. White didn't show his cards yet that he could also incorporate F3, Bishop E2, and G4. And in the last second, he can long castle. C5. Why did you play C5, Evan?
I see the king's in the center, and it's a short-term advantage, so I wanted to act quickly, try and open up the dark squared bishop.
Very good. So when your opponent's king is in the center, what you guys gotta do? Open files and diagonals towards the enemy king. What you guys gotta do? What Ryan? What you gotta do?
Yeah, open files.
And diagonals.
Towards
Then we can.
bishop e2. What would you play, Ryan?
That's black.
Yes, as black.
Nice 6.
What's the plan?
So take on d4 and open up since white doesn't count. Also, you want to go knight b to take d4.
Knight c6, pressuring on d4. a3. Why did you play a3?
Well, I was trying to prevent knight b4, but looking back, I think it was not very useful. Because I should have just probably short castled instead, and then if he ever decides to play knight b4, I could just go rook c1, or maybe even bishop with d3 or bishop d1, and I'm protecting the pawn.
C takes d4, e takes d4. Why did you capture on d4?
Well, number one, I open up the rook. Number two, I have queen b6 in the next move, and I attack b2 and d4 at the same time.
Queen b6 and queen d4 in the same time. What a move. The double attack and connecting the rooks in the same time. So now finally white long castle and we have kings on opposite sides. When kings on opposite sides, guys, everything changes. The tempo of the game, timing of the game, the rules of the game. Whoever gets first to the king, the enemy king, usually wins. So if you can pawn storm, open up the files for the heavy pieces, for the rooks, that material doesn't matter anymore. Because if the files are open and I can attack the king and I can checkmate your king, it doesn't matter. You're up, you're down material, it doesn't matter. So the speed of the game is really important, right? So who gets first to the king? So Evan played rook a to c8, lining up his rook versus the king. Bishop f3. So why did you play bishop f3?
Two reasons. One of them was to pressure the d5 pawn, and another was to put another piece to guard the e4 square in case he wants to jump there with his knight.
Okay. Queen a5. What was in your mind, Evan?
Just continuing to improve my my pieces and prepare an attack on the king.
How?
My idea was knight b4.
Knight b4. So if I make a waiting move, would you play knight b4?
Yeah.
So if I take,
I have queen a1, knight b1, and then I have rook takes c2, and then in the end he does have three pieces for the queen, but his king is so weak. So I felt that I was better here in this line because I have queen a4 first,
oh, I see. Okay.
and I can at the minimum I have a draw, but I can win the queenside pawns and I still have an attack.
King c1 and I
That's similar to what the queen.
d1 again.
That's pretty much what happened in the game. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see the game then. Bishop e5. Why did you play bishop e5?
I felt like my d4 pawn was weak, and I started to become concerned that his bishop would open up. If he moves the knight, his bishop targets my d4 pawn, and I started to see a lot of weaknesses in my position. So I kind of tried to solve it. I was a little unsure about this.
Yeah. What was your plan with these two bishops here? I mean, what was your plan? What was your plan to win?
Here I already realized that I definitely do not have a better position and that he's most likely winning. So I tried to find some moves that would make it easier for me to defend.
So you assess this position as better for black?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he I feel like his moves are a lot easier. If anything, he can with the one rook move, he can already have all of his pieces into the game. He just needs one knight move, and my d4 pawn is already hanging. And my king's really weak.
I'm still coming back to this plan after g4 because you gotta do something, you know. But you played bishop f3, queen a5, bishop e5, and Evan with the creative, very creative idea, knight b4. So Evan had this in his mind long time ago, and now we see the black pieces coordinating together. This is called harmony. The pieces are harmoniously working together. And he did not waste his time to attack with the pawns. He start attacking with the pieces. So again, you don't have the time, you don't have the luxury to push b5, b4, open up a file. You got to speed up the attack with the pieces. So knight b4, a takes b4, queen a1 check, knight b1 is very similar to what we analyzed. He's gonna win the queen for 3 pieces, but safety of the king is always number one. So this is an unbalanced material position, guys. What is this called? Unbalanced material. So that's mean black has the queen, and what? How many pieces white has for the queen, guys? 1, 2, and 3. So how many points is the queen?
9.
How many points is the rook? How many points is the bishop? So 5 plus 3 and a quarter. How much is it?
8.
8 and a
Quarter.
plus 3,
11.
11 and a quarter, right? So now you have the material, but the question is, which king is safer, white king or the black or what? Which king is safer? Okay, so white king is weaker. Who is attacking, white or black?
Black.
Okay, so in this case, would you guys prefer to be white or black?
White.
Why?
Because they can block knights 3 later. And then I have
So which king is safer?
black one.
Which king is weaker?
Right.
Okay. So, and who's attacking, black or white?
Black.
So, whose position is better then?
Black.
Would you guys still prefer 3 pieces? Or no?
Well,
Let's see. I still like black here after rook c8 check, right? Knight c3, and this was a hell of a move, bishop h6. You pin the knight, Evan?
Yeah, but it's I don't know. I don't think it was actually that great.
So why is the want to just simply take the pawn and then advance with the b pawn? What was wrong with the simple plan? The knight is pinned. You want to play b5 before.
I thought it was gonna take a long time, and I
What white is going to do? Is he attack on your king?
no.
Your king safe? Who's attacking? White or black?
Well,
Who's
black, right?
defending?
White,
Okay, so who has the time?
black.
Okay, so why you didn't capture them before? Create a queenside pawn majority for any kind of end game, and you still have the attack and the threats and initiative on the white king.
Because I didn't feel I had enough with just the queen and the rook there. I thought he could play king b1, rook c1, double on the c file, and I might be against it.
It's a huge mistake.
Okay.
After b5, you want to move the queen away and push b4. If you move the king away, the king cannot really move away because he has to babysit and defend the b2 pawn. Once the b2 pawn falls, the whole position goes down. So black position is better, but it's not enough to be better, guys. You guys gotta know how to win a winning position, right? And when the king's on opposite sides, you can't stop the attack. You still gotta go with the attack. Bishop h6. and now you let king b1. And you should know this from your Sicilian games, Evan. You sacrifice on c3 all the time in your Sicilian
Yeah,
dragon.
I thought about this, but I didn't see anything better than a draw here.
Okay, so now you just need the queen needs help. You need a piece. So you got to find a way to maneuver the piece around, right? Can you? So you wanted to play for win here, Evan?
Yeah.
So knight takes d5, and now what? As soon as the white king is safe, guys, the three pieces are stronger than a queen. You guys, you see the valuation, how it changed? Automatically. Why? Because the white king is safe. So this was a very interesting game and a huge lesson here. The safety of the king, kings on opposite sides, unbalanced material. Now we see the power of the two bishops, bishop pair. And white has two bishops and a rook for the queen, but white king is safe now. And now the back rank is really weak. Can you guys picture a rook there in the corner? That's all I need with white.
Then it went e6.
Sorry?
Then it was e6. He played e6. And
Is
the game continues. It was a couple more.
I remember the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So there's only a couple more moves. So I played e6.
e6,
You played rook c1.
rook c1.
It's a great move. I missed this.
So he's threatening exactly what I was telling you guys. And we come back to one thing and one thing only, safety of the king. Black king is really weak now, but the back rank is weak. So if you take, and I take, and if you take, check. How is that made, guys? Is that beautiful, beautiful or no? All right. So what happened after rook c1?
Rook d8.
Okay.
And then bishop f3.
Okay.
Here, a5. And then bishop takes h5. Pawn takes, rook takes, king f8.
What?
King f8, and then bishop f6.
Oh, wow. Nice. What a beautiful game. Let's give them a big hand, guys. Amazing lesson, amazing game. I hope you guys you enjoyed, and please share with the team. And I see you guys tomorrow night.